Right, so shall we start?
Yes.
Okay. So, may I know your full name, please?
My full name is Rishad. Yes.
Rishad.
Yes. But
How do you spell that?
Rishad.
Rishad, yeah?
Yes.
Rishad, that's okay. So, where are you from exactly?
I'm from Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Yes.
Dhaka, where exactly?
I'm from India Road. It's quite near from the city center, from the parliament actually, which is the city center of Dhaka.
Oh, that's fine. So, where are you based at actually? I mean, like your hometown?
My hometown is in Dhaka. I'm not.
Oh, you were born here, right?
Yeah, I'm born and raised here.
That's cool. Right, Mr. Rishad. So, for the part one, we will talk first about the spending time alone. Okay. So, do you like to spend time by yourself?
Yeah, I do actually. I spend time alone when I have nothing to do actually. When I have no work.
Okay. Do you usually spend time alone?
Normally I don't get much time alone, but I like to spend time when I have nothing to do or no one calls me up or anything.
And what do you usually do when you spend time with yourself?
Normally I play games or I go to my terrace and spend time, see the sunset maybe.
What did you do last time when you were alone?
I went up to my terrace and see the sunset all by myself. I love
Okay.
spending time alone in the terrace.
Okay. Do you like water sports?
Actually, I don't. I guess it's not for me since I'm not much into water sports and actually I'm just quite not that type of a person.
Right. Have you done water sports?
Yeah, I did actually. I did in Bali. I did parasailing and I did jet skiing.
Okay. Would you like to do a water sport again, maybe?
Yes, I would love to do a water sport. I'd love to go on a jet ski alone.
So the last question from the part one: are water sports popular in your country?
It's not quite popular in my country because there is no place to go for this kind of sports.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Rishad. So we are done with the part one. Now let's talk about part two. And here is a cue card, and you will have 1 minute to think about it. The next 2 minutes, you need to speak, right? So you can notes anything here. So you do have the pen and paper. So are you ready? So your time starts now.
So I went in Singapore in 2018, and while I was there, I heard a person talking in their phone. I was strolling around the popular touristy place, obviously like any other tourist would do. And he was talking in his phone, I guess with his wife. They were talking about their divorce. It quite broke my heart. So when I was strolling around, he was speaking really, what could I say, sadly. I guess that's the word. My heart broke because he started crying there, and a lot of people gained that gained a lot of attention. So people were talking behind his back. They were thinking it's his fault, and he wasn't looking bad. He didn't look bad, but the situation was way worse than that. And since it was a tourist place, I guess it was a special place for them, or should be special place for them. and I didn't really, you know, what's that word? It's not that type of place a person would like to break up or get the divorce. Okay, and when I was strolling there, while I went there, uh, it was a really crowded place. It was really crowded, so that event didn't happen in a really good place. I guess I would say that. But it's life, I guess. That's how life treats.
Right, Mr. Rishad, thank you very much. So we're done with this part 2, right? Now let's move on and let's talk about part 3. And for the part 2, I'd like to ask you some follow-up questions, right? Right, the first question is, some people like talking on phones on public transport. What do you think about this situation?
It's not really great. When people are in public place, they should not talk loudly. They should just avoid talking loudly and just maybe stay alone.
Why do you think there are some people who talk loudly on public transport?
I guess they have a hearing problem. Since you're not hearing them correctly, you're just shouting at them, thinking they're not hearing just as you are.
Do you think people misbehave to strangers?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people misbehave to strangers. It's quite common, I guess, in public places.
What can be done to people whose behavior is terrible?
Place some laws, I guess.
Should you ignore it?
No, we shouldn't
sh-
ignore it.
You shouldn't, right?
No, we shouldn't ignore it.
Alright then. So, is it wrong to talk on the phone in public places?
Yeah, it's not actually good to talk in public places because person can overhear what you say or hear your conversation. It might be private.
Okay. What are the terrible effects of talking over the phones in public?
A stranger might hear it, and he might be not the best person to hear it. He might be a stranger. He might be a terrorist. It's not the best ideal place to talk.
Okay. Right, so thank you very much. We're done with the part 3 and we're done with the speaking test actually, Mr. Rishad. Okay. Now tell me one thing, like what do you think like about today's performance? Do you think it's better than the last day actually?
I don't think.
You don't think so?
I again stuck on part 2. I studied a lot.
And like how much do you get like the last one? I mean the speaking part is 6.5 maybe or 6 maybe.
Yes.
6.
Yes.
You got the 6 maybe, yeah. And you think like the today's performance is like not better than
Yeah, there's room for
the last
improvement.
change?
And there's a lot of room for improvement.
Okay. And what do you think like I mean like where do you feel like difficulties? Like what makes you
It's
so
definitely in part 2 about the ending part. I guess I don't have much to say.
you can elaborate or maybe you can explain maybe, right?
Yeah,
Or
I
maybe
can
it's all about the having the lackings of content science maybe it could be.
Yes, I get straight to the point and then I have nothing to say more.
Well, look, Rishad, your cue is about describe a time you were when you were in a public place and you overheard a stranger talking to the phone, right? Now, there is like how many questions?
There are 4 parts actually.
I mean, 3 questions with 1 explanation,
Yes.
right? So when you're gonna cover your 2 minutes, so first of all you can waste some time, like 30 seconds to 20 seconds for the introduction part. You should have a good introduction for any kind of cue card, any cue card that is speaking.
Okay.
There should be a good introduction. And what I mean actually with the introduction, that's like a time. They're asking about a time, right? They're asking about a time when you were in a public place and you were over here. So it's only one time they're asking, but it could be a lot of time maybe. You've experienced.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I could say more than
Yeah, you got a lot of experience with this kind of situation, but today we'd love to talk about a special one,
Yeah.
and that's taken part the last week. It could be the another one. So it's like something about you're talking about exact one, but you are giving an introduction,
Yes.
and that will definitely kill you near about 15 seconds or 10 seconds.
Okay.
Do you understand? So there, if I'm gonna like divide the 3 parts, like for the introduction, for the cue card, let's talk about the especially cue card you are facing problem with. So the first 30 seconds, let's spend for the introduction part, right? The next, what are you gonna do? That'll be like body, right? So body, that means there's some questions, yeah. So what is happened? When this happened? Where this happened? And you should say why. For every question, try to define the why answer. So just think it like why is hidden there actually. So, okay, when it happened and why. It could be. I mean, it could have some reason for that. What the person was talking about and why you exactly. I mean, just like pointing that one actually. Is there any reason behind that? Do you understand? So after completing your three questions together with possible why answer, hidden why answer, then give two things. Like the last part that's called about your feelings. Is about your feelings? I mean about your action. How do you feel about it? Still, do you feel anything about that? And what's your action? Maybe like are you suggesting someone or are you recommending about that situation? Hey guys, don't do that, or I don't think like people should do that, or people shouldn't do that. So this kind of action you can take. You can even talk about, and also you need to show your feelings about that topic. So once you're gonna come like try to cover these three parts together, I don't think so like 2 minutes is going to be enough for you. Do you understand what I mean actually? Okay. And well actually the part one was okay, then also the part three is fine. The problem is like you need to extend the answer, because sometimes you're facing I mean like problem with the extending answer. You're just speaking with one or two sentences, which is not helping you. Do you understand? If you want to get like more than 6 or above 7, so definitely you need to improve yourself within this 1 or 2 days.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Rishan. So thank you very much for joining with me. Okay.